Every single day, across more than 200 countries, 1.9 billion servings of Coca-Cola are opened, poured, and consumed. That is enough to give every person on the planet a Coke every 4 days. But here is what makes this drink unlike anything else ever created. Only 2 people in the entire world know the complete recipe. Not the CEO, not the board of directors. 2 anonymous employees whose identities are so tightly protected that company policy forbids them from ever traveling on the same airplane together. This is not just a soft drink. It is a 140-year-old empire built on a formula locked inside a vault, a bottling system that spans the entire globe, and a manufacturing process so precise that a Coke made in Atlanta tastes exactly the same as one made in Tokyo. Today, we are going inside that process, from the secret syrup room all the way to the truck that delivers it to your nearest store. To understand how Coca-Cola is made, we have to go back to where it all started. Atlanta, Georgia, 1886. The man behind it was not a businessman. He was a pharmacist. His name was Dr. John Stith Pemberton, a Confederate Army veteran who had been severely wounded during the American Civil War. Like many wounded soldiers of that era, Pemberton became addicted to morphine, the standard painkiller of the time. But unlike most, Pemberton had a medical degree and began searching for a substitute. He wanted to create something that would free him from his addiction. In 1885, he registered a product called Pemberton's French Wine Coca, a nerve tonic made from coca leaves, cola nuts, and wine. It was essentially a knockoff of a wildly popular French drink that was endorsed by everyone from Queen Victoria to the Pope. But there was one problem. In 1886, Atlanta and Fulton County passed prohibition laws. Alcohol was now illegal. Pemberton had to pivot fast, and so he replaced the wine with carbonated water and sugar syrup. On May 8, 1886, he carried a jug of this new syrup down to Jacob's Pharmacy in downtown Atlanta. The pharmacist there mixed it with carbonated water, and the first glass of Coca-Cola was sold. The price, 5 cents. In its first year, Jacob's Pharmacy sold about 9 drinks a day. Pemberton made roughly $50 in total revenue. He was not a businessman. He was an inventor, and he had no idea what he was sitting on. Within 2 years, suffering from stomach cancer and nearly bankrupt, Pemberton began selling off pieces of his company. Then in 1888, a man named Asa Griggs Candler entered the picture. Candler was a sharp Atlanta pharmacist and businessman who saw what others did not. He started buying shares in the Coca-Cola formula piece by piece, sometimes for as little as a few $100s. By 1888, he became the sole proprietor of Coca-Cola. Total investment, roughly $2,300. Today, the Coca-Cola Company is worth over $260 billion. Candler was a marketing genius. He distributed coupons for free glasses of Coke, the first coupon campaign in American history. By 1895, just 7 years after Candler took over, Coca-Cola was being sold in every state in America. But the real explosion happened in 1894, when a Mississippi shop owner named Joseph Biedenharn did something nobody had thought of before. He put Coca-Cola syrup into a glass bottle so people could take it home. Until that moment, Coke had only been available at soda fountains. In 1899, 2 Chattanooga lawyers secured the exclusive rights to bottle Coca-Cola across the entire United States for just $1. This franchise bottling model was the real secret to Coca-Cola's global dominance. Instead of one company running one giant factory, hundreds of independent bottling plants across the world would each produce Coca-Cola for their local territory. The Coca-Cola Company only makes the concentrate, the secret syrup base. It ships that concentrate to bottling plants. The bottlers handle everything else. This model means no matter where you are on Earth, your Coca-Cola was made within a few hundred kilometers of where you are standing. Now, let us talk about the most famous trade secret in the history of commerce. The formula for Coca-Cola is called Merchandise 7X. It is a blend of natural oils, citrus extracts, and aromatic compounds that gives Coke its unmistakable flavor. Not even the company's CEO knows the full recipe. Only 2 anonymous employees within the entire Coca-Cola organization have access to it, And they are not allowed to fly on the same airplane, because if that plane goes down, the recipe goes with it. For decades, the formula was kept in a bank vault in Atlanta. In 2011, the company moved it to a custom-built vault inside the World of Coca-Cola Museum. Visitors can stand in front of this vault and look at it. A massive steel door with a palm scanner, a numerical keypad, and security features that feel like something out of a spy movie. But nobody gets inside. Now, here is something you may not know. The ingredients are printed on every bottle: water, high fructose corn syrup or sugar, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavors, caffeine. The phrase natural flavors is where the secret lives. That single line hides the entire merchandise 7X formula. One more thing about the formula. The original recipe contained actual coca leaf extract. That is where the Coca in Coca-Cola comes from. Today, the Coca-Cola Company is the only corporation in the United States legally authorized to import coca leaves. The cola comes from cola nuts, which naturally contain caffeine. Water makes up roughly 90% of every bottle of Coca-Cola. This means water quality is not a minor detail. It is the foundation of the entire product. Every Coca-Cola bottling plant worldwide follows the same multi-stage water purification protocol. The process begins with coagulation. Chemicals are added that cause suspended dirt particles and microbes to clump together and settle to the bottom. After that, the water moves through multi-layer filtration. First sand, which catches fine particles. Then activated carbon, which removes chlorine and anything that could affect taste or odor. Next, the water passes through a reverse osmosis membrane, so fine that dissolved salts, heavy metals, and bacterial contaminants cannot pass through. Only pure water molecules make it to the other side. At this stage, the water is technically purer than most bottled water brands. The final step is disinfection using high-intensity ultraviolet light, which destroys any remaining bacteria or viruses without introducing chemicals. After that, small amounts of minerals are added back to achieve the exact mineral profile that Coca-Cola's taste testing panel has approved. Here is why all of this matters. If you buy a Coca-Cola in Mumbai, in London, in Sao Paulo, and in Sydney, all 4 bottles must taste identical. The only way to achieve that is to strip every local water source down to the same blank canvas and rebuild it to the same specification. With purified water ready, the next stage is syrup preparation. Granulated sugar or high fructose corn syrup is dissolved in warm, purified water inside large stainless steel mixing tanks. The mixture is heated to fully dissolve the sugar, then pasteurized to eliminate any microbial contamination, then rapidly cooled. Now the real blending begins. Inside a sealed stainless steel vessel called a batch tank, precise amounts of simple syrup, the Coca-Cola concentrate, caramel color, phosphoric acid, and caffeine are combined. The mixing follows a strict sequence because the order of addition affects chemical stability. First, the sweetener base goes in. Then phosphoric acid is introduced gradually to adjust the pH. Coca-Cola has a pH of about 2.5, which is more acidic than lemon juice. This acidity is what gives Coke its sharp, crisp bite and also acts as a preservative. Then caffeine and the natural flavor concentrate are incorporated. Finally, caramel color is blended in until uniform. The finished syrup is thick, dark, and intensely concentrated, roughly 5 to 6 times stronger than what you actually drink. Before it is approved, it undergoes a full gauntlet of quality tests. Only after passing every single one is the syrup released to the next stage. This is where the magic happens. The moment flat syrup becomes the fizzy Coca-Cola you know. The finished syrup is chilled to near freezing temperature, around 2 to 4 degrees Celsius. Cold liquid absorbs and holds carbon dioxide much better than warm liquid. If you try to carbonate a warm beverage, the CO2 escapes almost immediately. Inside the carbonator, food-grade carbon dioxide is injected under high pressure. The CO2 dissolves into the liquid, creating carbonic acid. That is the compound responsible for the slight burn, the tingle, the refreshing sensation you feel when you take a sip. This is not just about bubbles. Carbonation actually changes how your tongue perceives flavor. Coca-Cola typically contains about 3.5 to 4 volumes of CO2, higher than most other soft drinks. More CO2 means more fizz, more bite, and a shorter shelf life once the bottle is opened. That is exactly why an opened Coke goes flat faster than an opened juice. Now the filling begins. A modern high-speed line can fill over 2,000 cans per minute. That is more than 33 cans every single second. Here is the key detail. Coca-Cola is filled under counter pressure. The bottle or can is first pressurized with CO2 to match the pressure of the carbonated liquid. Then the liquid is introduced. If you just poured carbonated Coke into an open bottle at normal air pressure, it would foam uncontrollably and lose its carbonation. Counter pressure filling prevents this. The liquid slides in smoothly, the container is immediately sealed, and the carbonation stays locked in. Capping follows instantly. The entire fill and cap sequence for a single can takes less than 1 second. After filling, every single container passes through an electronic inspection system. High-speed cameras and laser sensors scan each bottle and can for fill level accuracy, cap seal integrity, and the presence of labels and date codes. If a fill level is off by even a few millimeters, that container is ejected from the line by a burst of compressed air. Date codes and batch numbers are laser-etched onto every container for traceability. If any quality issue is ever discovered in a specific batch, Coca-Cola can trace it back to the exact production line, date, and time of manufacture. Robotic palletizers handle the final stacking with millimeter precision, building towers of cases that are perfectly balanced and secure. Each pallet is then stretch-wrapped in plastic film to prevent shifting during transport. Coca-Cola's distribution network is designed so that a bottle produced today can be on a store shelf tomorrow. The average distance from a bottling plant to a retail outlet is under 500 kilometers. The entire supply chain runs on a just-in-time model. Stores receive frequent, small deliveries rather than massive monthly shipments, which ensures freshness. From the moment purified water enters the system to the moment a capped bottle hits the pallet, the entire manufacturing cycle takes less than 24 hours. So here is what it takes to make a single bottle of Coca-Cola. Water purified through 6 separate filtration stages. A syrup blended from ingredients sourced across 4 continents. A concentrate whose recipe is known to only 2 people alive. Carbon dioxide injected under high pressure at near freezing temperature. Filled into a container at a rate of 33 units per second. Inspected, labeled, packaged, and trucked to a store near you, all within a day. The next time you crack open an ice-cold Coke and hear that hiss, you are not just opening a drink. You are opening a product of 140 years of engineering, chemistry, logistics, and one very well-guarded secret.